Hey guys, Aiden here from Core Electronics, and today we're going to take a look at the digital multimeter, one of the newer versions of the multimeter that we have in stock, which is called the Mooshimeter. So the Mooshimeter is an evolution of the multimeter coming out of a company over in the United States. Two engineers decided that the current version that everyone had of a multimeter was just not up to scratch with the future standards. So they decided to improve it in two ways. They wanted to be able to control it and access it remotely, and they also wanted it to be able to measure two channels simultaneously, which you don't find in very many multimeters at all. So they came up with the idea of the Mooshimeter, which is the product that we have here, and we're going to take a look at how the Mooshimeter works and what you do when you get it out of the box and to get started using it. So what we're going to do, we're going to make sure that we've got a smart device that has Bluetooth enabled on it. We also need to download the Mooshimeter app, and you can get that on the App Store or on the Google Play Store for both of those two devices. And yeah, first thing we'll do is take our Mooshimeter out of the box and wake it up. So this is the Mooshimeter here. As you can see, we've got a voltage, amperage, common and resistance terminal. On the back, you can see there's two screws there. What can we see? It's running on two AA batteries, and yeah, it's pretty cool. On the side here, we've got an SD card slot for a micro SD card, which we'll cover off in later tutorials, but essentially you can also log data using your Mooshimeter. And down the front here, we've just got a little LED that blinks once every 10 seconds. So when you first take your Mooshimeter out of the box, it'll actually be in a shipping mode. So what you're gonna do, first things first, is wake up the Mooshimeter. So all you need to do is connect your resistance terminal and the common terminal, ground terminal. So we'll go ahead and do that. Essentially, you just connect these together until your LED blinks, and once you've done that, it's out of shipping mode and it can be registered in the app. So what we're going to do is just hold those pins together until we see the LED blink. I may have missed it. There we go. So the LED's blinked and we're good to go. So we can undo those probes out of there and whack it down. So you'll notice that a digital multimeter usually has a screen and a bunch of knobs and little functions like that. This is just pretty much a terminal board. You can plug in your probes and mount it wherever you want. So it's really good for a remote sort of access multimeter, because you can just connect it up and leave it there and it'll just relay information to a Bluetooth device. All right, so this is what it looks like when we first load up our application. You can start a scan and we'll scan every Mooshimeter in range. So we've obviously got one out in the warehouse, and this one here at the highest signal strength is this one here. So we'll just connect up to it. Now, if you haven't got the first, or the most recent firmware on your Mooshimeter, you'll be prompted at that step there where you connect to update your firmware, and it will just do it through the application and forward it to your device. So that's a really good way to keep up to date with all the firmware. Also, with your Mooshimeter application, make sure that you always keep it updated through your iPhone's OS, because it's really important to keep on top of the new updates. They include a bunch of new functions every time they update that software, so it's very important. Right, so you can see the basic settings here. We've got pretty much a really easy to understand UI here, so you can just select on the different channels here and pick what you want to measure. You've also got the auto ranging or manual settings for the different ranges. So you can also min-max your functions. You can zero out your different channels at different measurements. You can include sounds for your measurements. You've got a power, or you can use a thermocouple measurement for temperature. Down the bottom here, we've got the sample rate and the depth. So that's the buffer depth and the sample rate. We've also got a logging disabled button here, which we'll get into in a later video. It's a really cool function of the multimeter, like I said before. And we've also got this one. So this is the graph. Now this is what's really cool. You can actually graph whilst measuring two separate channels. So you can have a voltage and a current measurement going on at the same time and be measuring what's happening on the screen there, which is really cool. Now you can also change that measurement to be in a different orientation. You can also set auto ranging and auto scrolling for those things and have a max data point of whatever you like. So that's the basic sort of rundown of the Mooshimeter app. We've got some settings here, so you can set your device name. It comes as just Mooshimeter 1.1, 1.2. You've also got the logging interval that you can set, so that's how often your Mooshimeter will log the data to the SD card. It will only do that if the SD card is present on the Mooshimeter. You've got a shipping mode, so you can put that Mooshimeter back into shipping mode. If you're not going to use it for a while, it might be handy to do because it does run on just those alkaline batteries. So that's always something to bear in mind. You've got a reboot mode, so you can just start the meter fresh, and obviously the auto connect and skip firmware update settings there. So that's pretty much a quick 5-minute rundown of the Mooshimeter. I hope this has really cleared up what it is and what its capabilities are. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day.